नमस्कार दोस्तों, before starting the video, I just wanted to tell you that this video is very important for clearing your concept and exam perspective. Okay, please don't skip this video and watch completely till the end. Okay, friends, today we are going to read a new topic and the name of the topic is the interest of European traders in India. Friends, although this topic is related to the subject of history, but we are reading it here because this topic gives us a basic information about the European traders of European countries. Okay? Since the first chapter of our polity subject is the historical background, right? In which we read many acts related to the British, like the Regulating Act of 1773, the Acts of Settlement of 1781, the Pitt's India Act of 1784, and many charter acts as well as the Indian Council Act, etc. Right? We read all these acts in the first chapter of the polity subject, and all these acts are related to the British, right? Since the British were also European traders, so before reading about the British and the acts related to them, we will try to know about other European traders of their time here, okay? So that we can get a background that why the British and other European traders were taking so much interest in India, why all these people had their eyes set only on the India, okay? Once we understand this topic, it will help us a lot in understanding European trades as well as the British and their related acts, right? Friends, another benefit of this video is that the topic we are going to study today, you have to study this topic in history subject also. There you will find this topic in a chapter named The Arrival of Europeans in India. Since in history we will study this topic in great details. So here we will study only the basics of this topic, okay? So friends, let's start this topic. Friends, as you can see here, I have made a world map for you people on the board so that I can explain this topic to you people very well. And here I have also made a sketch of Christopher Columbus and Portuguese sailor Vasco da Gama. Friends, these two sketches I have made here because when the initial trade routes of European traders were closed by the Ottoman Turk Empire, and when they started searching for a new sea routes for trade, then these two people were very famous at that time. Italian sailor Christopher Columbus and Portuguese sailor Vasco da Gama. Since we will also talk a little about both of them in this video, that is why I have made a sketch of both of them here. With the help of these sketches, I try to include arts in education, and at the same time, these sketches help me in keeping you people focused on studies. Friends, I make these sketches so that I can teach you people very well and trying to keep your mind in studies with more interest. It takes a lot of hard work for me. Your one like, one comment, one share or one subscribe inspire me to make more such videos for you people. So if you are new to this channel, please do subscribe it and click on the bell icon also so that you keep getting more such videos of our channel. Let us all together include real arts in education. Now let's take a look at the world map. So as you can see here, this region of world map is the continent of Europe. Friends, as we all know, our earth is divided into 7 continents. The first one is Asia, the second one is Africa, the third one is Europe, the fourth one is North America, the fifth one is South America, sixth one is Australia, and the seventh one is Antarctica. Europe is also one of these 7 continents. Okay, during the 15th to 20th century, European traders from European countries, that is from in this continent of Europe, used to come to Central Asia, India and China for trade. According to the United Nations, there are total of 44 countries in Europe. However, according to some websites, there are 50 countries in Europe. Okay. After this, friends, this region is the region of the continent of Asia. India and China are the part of the continent of Asia. After this, below Europe, you can see the continent of Africa here. To the west of the continents of Africa and Europe, across the Atlantic Ocean, the continents of North America and South America are located. Below the continent of Asia, we get to see the continent of Australia, and in this region, the continents of Antarctica is also present. Just like our earth is divided into 7 continents, friends, in the same way there are 5 oceans in our earth. The first one is Pacific Ocean, the second one is the Atlantic Ocean, the third one is the Indian Ocean, the fourth one is the Arctic Ocean, and the fifth one is the Southern Ocean, or what we also call the Antarctic Ocean. The Antarctic Ocean is located at the bottom, friends. It has not been written here due to lack of space. Okay. So friends, this was about continents and oceans. Now let's talk about what are the questions whose answer we will get from this video. So the first question whose answer we will get from this video is, why did European traders want to come to India? Friends, the second question whose answer we will get from this video is, earlier by which route did European traders come to India, China and Central Asia? The third question whose answer we will get from this video is, what was the situation that European traders had to discover a new route to come to India? We will see their business and political reason here in this video and try to understand them. Okay. Along with this, in this video we will learn about the journey of Christopher Columbus and Vasco da Gama. Friends, apart from this, you will get a lot of more information in this video. So friends, without any delay, let's start this video now. Friends, this is about the period between 15th century and 20th century. At that time, there was a competition among some European countries to trade with Asia, and they were especially in India, because at that time India was famous in all over the world for spices, silk, cotton and other precious goods. Especially the Malabar coast of Kerala, which is in India, was famous in all over the world for spices. Spices like black pepper, cardamom, cinnamon, etc. Friends, at that time there was a huge demand for these spices in European countries, and traders there used to take them from India, China and Central Asia and sell them at a high prices in Europe. European traders used to make huge profit in this trade of spices and silk. Now the question arises here, how did the European traders come to India at that time? So friends, until the Portuguese did not discover the sea route to reach India, that is before 1498, European traders used to come to India through a famous route called the Silk Route, which we also known as the Resham Marg. Okay? At that time, the Silk Route, which was a land route, was very famous. The famous Silk Route connected China and India with Europe. This route passed through Central Asia, Persia, that is Iran, Arab countries and the Ottoman Turk Empire. Through this route, European traders used to take goods from India, China and Central Asia to their respective countries in Europe. In those days, this route was famous all over the world for the exchange of silk, cotton cloth, spices, black pepper, cardamom, cinnamon, nutmeg, precious stones, pearls, precious gems, paper, metal, tea and medicinal herbs. Also, friends, this route was also very famous for the exchange of cultural ideas, because European traders used to come from Europe to India, China and Central Asia for trade. Along with European traders, the culture and culture ideas of their countries also came here. And when they used to go back to their country, they used to take the cultural ideas of India, China and Central Asia with them. In this way, this route was also very famous for the exchange of cultural ideas. Friends, since at this time silk was the most exported thing from China, that is why this route was called Silk Route or Resham Marg. It existed from the 2nd century BC to the 15th century. At this time, European merchants used this route extensively to purchase precious goods from India, China and Central Asia. They traded mainly from Italian cities like Venice, Genoa, Rome, as well as the cities like Valencia, which is in Spain, and countries like Greece, etc. Merchants usually came India or China via Central Asia, or they reached India via Persia, that is Iran, through the Mediterranean Sea. So friends, now we will see how these European traders used to come to India or China through the land route, which is called Silk Route. Okay? Friends, they had two main routes for coming and going through the land route. European traders carrying goods from China and India used to go through Central Asian countries like Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, or some European traders used to go through Persia, that is Iran. After that, moving forward on both the routes, these European traders had to pass through the Ottoman Turk Empire. After crossing the Ottoman Turk Empire, which is in Turkey, they used to reach those cities in European countries from where they used to do business. Just as they used to go to Europe with goods from India, China, in the same way, they used to come back to India, China and Central Asia to do business through the same land routes. To come to India, traders used to come through Persia, that is Iran, and then through the Sindh province of Pakistan and reach the ports of Gujarat. At that time, among the main ports of India, the ports of Calicut, Surat, Malabar and Cochin were prominent. Friends, it was not so that there was no trade through the sea route at that time. Even at that time, European traders used to trade through seas like Mediterranean Sea, Red Sea, Black Sea. These seas are small in comparison to the oceans. So now let us see how European traders used to travel to India, China and Central Asia through these sea routes. Friends, at that time, along with the sea route, the Europeans also used to use land routes. After loading spices and other goods from India in ships, they used to proceed towards Europe through the Red Sea, which is between Egypt located in the northeastern part of the African continent and the Arab country located in the west of the Asian continent. After this, they have to cross the Ottoman Turk Empire, and after crossing the Ottoman Turk Empire, the European traders used to load the goods bought from India, China and Asia in ships through the Mediterranean Sea and take them to their destination cities like Genoa, Venice, Rome, Valencia and countries like Greece, etc. Some traders used to come and go from India through the Mediterranean Sea via Persia, that is Iran. Some traders used to trade from today's city of Istanbul, which was earlier called Constantinople, which is in Turkey. From here, they used to cross the Black Sea and go to India and China via Central Asian countries like Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. European merchants first come to Central Asia or Arab countries. Then they bought goods from Arab and Indian merchants we see. European merchants bought Indian spices, silk and other goods from Arab merchants. Then Arab merchants sent this to Europe via the Ottoman Empire. At that time, Italian trading cities like Venice and Genoa were prominent in this trade. Now friends, European trade was happening fine. Then why did European countries start searching for the sea route? So look friends, at that time there were many trade and political reasons for this, out of which we will first see some of the trade reasons here. So friends, the first trade reason was it was about the demand for spices and precious goods in Europe. At that time in Europe, there was a huge demand for Indian spices like black pepper, cardamom, cinnamon, nutmeg and also silk. These goods were very expensive for European traders through the land route because many middlemen, that is traders from Arab countries, Turkish traders were involved in it. Along with this, there are many middlemen involved in it whom we call brokers today. Okay? Apart from this, the control of the land route was with the Turks because in 1453, the Ottoman Turks captured Constantinople, which we know today as Istanbul, which is in Turkey, because during the 15th century and even before that, this city was the most important center of the Silk Route, from where trade between Europe and Asia was carried out by European traders. European traders used to do trade from here. Okay, after capturing Constantinople, the Turks started imposing heavy taxes on the European traders, because of which trade became very expensive for the European traders. European traders now started getting less profit in this trade, due to which they were very unhappy. Above all, the land route had become very unsafe at that time. The goods of the European traders were being looted at times. Since European countries needed a new route to bring spices, silk and other precious goods from India and China, European traders felt that they would have to discover a new cheap and safe route, and they got busy in this task. They worked on their ships and techniques and made a lot of improvement in them. So friends, these were some business reasons due to which European traders discovered a new sea route to come to India. Apart from this, there were some political reasons involved in this, such as the competition between Portugal and Spain. Portugal and Spain wanted to become a sea power in those days and were competing with each other. They sent many sailors on different expeditions, one after the other, to find new routes. Along with this, the propagation of Christianity was also included in this. At this time, Christian missionaries of Portugal and Spain felt that they had to stop the influence of Islam and spread Christianity in the world, because both the Portugal and Spain were Catholic Christian countries. Catholic Christianity was mainly prevalent in these countries, which was led by the Pope based in Rome, which is in Italy. These countries were under the influence of Islamic rule in the Middle Ages. but later the Christian rulers made them Christian majority countries again. Now friends, let us understand how the influence of Christianity increased in Spain and Portugal. So friends, there was a war called Reconquista between 711 and 1492. Its objective was to free the southern Portuguese and Spanish region from Muslim Moor rulers. Muslim Moors were ruling Spain and Portugal since the 18th century. Christian rulers gradually defeated the Muslim rulers and made Spain and Portugal completely Christian nation by 1492. Okay? After this, friend, a treaty was signed between Spain and Portugal in 1494, which is called the Treaty of Tordesillas. Friends, through this treaty between Spain and Portugal divided the world into two parts for the propagation of Christianity. Spain got America and the western region, while the Portugal got India, Africa and eastern regions. Okay? After this treaty, the competition between Portugal and Spain to reach India and discover new sea route increased further. Both countries wanted to find India through new sea routes and wanted to establish their sea power on that route. Okay? In this sequence, friends, in the 15th century, Christopher Columbus went on a sea voyage with the support of King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella of Spain. Christopher Columbus was an Italian sailor and explorer who tried to reach India and Asia through the western sea route. At the beginning of his journey, Columbus thought that if he would go by sea in the west direction of Europe, he could reach India and China quickly. But Columbus' thinking proved wrong because he did not know the real size of the earth. He thought that Asia was closer to Europe, while in reality, America was the continent in between, about which Columbus did not know. Columbus was trying to reach India and China from the west direction. He thought that if he would go to the west of the Atlantic Ocean, he could reach India quickly. But in 1492, Columbus accidentally reached America. As soon as he reached America, Columbus felt that he had come to India. As soon as he reached America, he called the people Columbus met there as Indian. Columbus did not actually discover India. He reached the Bahamas island of America, which is located in the Caribbean region. But he had the illusion throughout his life that he was in India. The name West Indies that we hear today, friends, is not a country, but it is the name of a group of countries in the Caribbean region, which also included Bahamas, where Columbus reached in his first journey. West Indies is a name given to a group of islands located in the Caribbean Sea and Atlantic Ocean near Central America. Columbus named them West Indies after reaching these islands in 1492. Columbus believed that he had reached India by traveling westwards. That is why he named these islands West Indies. Columbus may have failed to reach India in his journey, but Columbus' discoveries shows the way to European countries to colonize America. After this, Spain, Portugal, France, Britain and other European countries gradually started going to America and establishing their colonies there. On the other hand, the Portuguese focused on finding a way to India via the southern coast of Africa. Vasco da Gama, who was the Portuguese sailor, his real objective was to find a direct sea route to reach India by going around Africa. The Portuguese knew that the land route, which we call the Silk Route, through which European traders used to come to India to trade in China and Central Asia, was now closed by the Ottoman Turks as a few years after capturing of Constantinople, so they planned to reach India by sea. In 1498, Vasco da Gama reached Calicut in India with the Cape of Good Hope. Calicut is the name of a city located in Kozhikode district of Kerala state, which is in India. Earlier, this city was known as Calicut. Kozhikode is situated on the Malabar coast. Ultimately, Vasco da Gama discovered the right sea route to reach India, and after this, gradually the European colonial era started in India too. Gradually, the Portuguese took control of Goa, Kochi and other coastal areas. Technological advancements, improvements in navigation, new compasses, better caravel ships and more accurate maps made long sea voyages possible. Thus, the discovery of the sea route for Europeans happened on two sides. Vasco da Gama from Portugal, who reached India by going around Africa. On the other hand, Columbus from Spain, who travelled westernwards but reached America by mistake. Both Christopher Columbus and Vasco da Gama set out to find the sea route to reach India and Asia, but their routes were different. One of them could not reach India and the other reached India. Okay. After this, friends, direct trade route between India and Europe started through this sea route discovered by Vasco da Gama. After this, European traders from Portugal, Netherlands, Britain, Denmark, France and Spain come to India one after the other, and in this way gradually colonial rule was established over India. The traders of major European countries who come to India included Portuguese, Dutch, English, Danish, French and Spanish. They were residents of Portugal, Netherlands, England, Denmark, France and Spain respectively. The main purpose of all these countries to come to India was to do business here and earn maximum economic benefits from here. All of them had their own trading companies. For example, the name of the British company was British or English East India Company. Okay. Friends, the order of arrival and departure of European traders from these European countries to India is different, which we will see later. Okay. When the British come to India, the Portuguese and Dutch people had already come here. And before the arrival of Portuguese, Arab traders had already spread their feet in India. At that time, Arab traders had a monopoly on the trade of the Indian Ocean. Okay? But since we have to study polity, the first chapter of which is about the various acts brought by the British, that is why we will talk only about the British here. Okay, because ultimately these people had almost completely occupied India. Okay, to run and regulate and control their company properly, the British Parliament brought many acts one after the other and also amend them from time to time. In this chapter, we are going to know about those acts, because when our country became independent from the British, these acts had a special historical importance and role in the formation of the constitution. So which were those acts? We will see in our next video. Till then, all of you keep studying. We will meet in the next video on the polity subject. Please do like, comment, share and subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon also, so that you will never miss any updates from this channel. Stay tuned. Bye bye. Tata. See you.